Hello there, kids. It is I, Stray Cat, the one and only, coming to you with a vlog because it's been a damn long time since I've done a vlog. I'm going to try and get things done really quick because the last couple of times I tried to make this video, the phone decided to shit itself. So I'm hoping this time around it'll make it work. I had everything set up and hopefully this time it goes right. Updates and good news. My brother's doing a lot better. Seems that because of this whole incident, he has actually gotten to a point that he's getting medication now. He's figured something out in regards to getting that medication. So there's that. He does have health insurance, so now that he's able to get that covered, he's doing a lot better. He's found a medication that works for him and is doing better on it. I am very happy for him because, this is a thing that has been a problem for him, and I'm happy that he is able to get it dealt with. I'm sorry it had to come to that, to bring him to his lowest point, to then make him see that he needs it, but there you go. We had a talk about it, and he's doing a lot better. There are details that I'm not going to share for multiple reasons, but he is doing better. He has quit smoking. He's been not drinking for a while. He might go back to that at some point, but for right now, he wants to make sure he's under control with his life first before he starts reintroducing new things, and it's possible he might never do that, but I'm happy for him. Work stuff. Work stuff is, as it is. Work. There has been a change, I don't know if I mentioned it, where there are new pumps at my gas station where I manage it and where I work. It's been an adjustment because these new pumps are different. Not necessarily very much better, but different. And they connect better with the computers, so it works out a lot better than it used to. There used to be some connectivity issues. There used to be some shenanigans due to coding, and a lot of those are now gone, so I'm happy. But there's been some mechanical aspects that are a little different. The hose and nozzle are completely, new to us, new and foreign to us. The interface, how it works is essentially the same. It's just placed differently. So a lot of the retraining that my guys have been doing and I've been doing is essentially readjusting to where the interface is and how the nozzles work. The nozzles don't work unless the vapor recovery system is engaged, and that has led to some shenanigans. It works, don't get me wrong. Some cars now don't work as well with this new system. Other cars that used to never work with our old system work great. So it's working. It's just trade-offs at this point. I think the biggest change, other than having to fight muscle memory, which is very hard for, the 2, 3, 4+ year veterans of this station, like myself, is that they are they are different in the fact that one of the pumps used to be a combination of gasoline and diesel. That is no longer the case. The diesel gasoline combination is now diesel only. And that has led to some customer problems, mainly because for the last 7+ years that I've been working here, working at that station, we've been telling people they can move up to the diesel pump because it also does gasoline as well. No longer the case. So, some customers will do that and then find out that it is no longer the case. Either they discover it themselves or we have to let them know. I'd say maybe 2/3, 3/4 maybe of the customers who pull up to that pump notice that it's a completely different design. The pumps are a lot shinier and newer than the old ones. 2, that there's a lot more green on it, because in the state of Oregon, on top of most of the United States, green is usually associated with diesel. So they notice that as well. And that there's only one hose. There might be something up. So usually they notice that and go to a pump that will accommodate them. Some customers don't. Sometimes they need to be let into the know, let into the circle of knowledge that is not the case. And usually they're accepting of that. Sometimes they make jokes about it. I usually make a joke about it because that's how I like to see life, as making a joke out of things. And when it comes to that, usually they're understanding, and then they move to a pump that will accommodate them. There has been only 2 thus far in the 3 weeks since the new pumps have been installed that have been, let's say, annoyed / pissed off that is no longer the case, because they don't like to look the fool, I'm assuming. They don't like to be the one with the egg on their face. So they lash out, and they do it because that's the only thing they have at that particular moment. So, yeah, that's a thing. I'll be telling the stories in order of occurrence. But, first one, I should probably make sure I lay the groundwork first. The station is on the side of a store. It's pretty much within walking distance of the store. But we're not supposed to allow customers to walk up to the store to shop or do anything, because it just leaves cars in our, fuel pad, not doing anything usually after they're filled up, and then they get in the way of other customers. So there's that. And if you get off the main road that the store gas station is on, you pretty much go into the gas station line from that direction, and the diesel is the second pump from that. We have 4 pumps, 2 lines. The diesel is the farthest one out, the second one in the second line out from the kiosk. There was already a customer at the time at the pump here. The first customer to have this problem went around that customer to go to the now diesel-only pump. She backed in, turned off her engine, all before I could realize that was what she was doing. I thought she was trying to do like a U-turn around to come to the empty lanes, which were completely empty the entire time of the whole thing. So, after seeing that was what she was doing, I walk over to her car and just politely let her know, I'm sorry, we can't really do that at this pump anymore. It's now basically physically impossible. By law, these things have been capped off. We can't really do it here. Before I really finish my explanation, she goes, well, why didn't you tell me that before I turned off my engine? I then have to proceed to inform her of, by the time I realized you were doing that, you had already finished that. I couldn't actually do that. She had a passenger in, the next seat over, who I can see her face throughout the entirety of my interaction with the driver. She looked like she understood my plight, and that at least her expressions made me feel like I'm not the crazy one here. I'm not the one who is being the particularly unnecessarily rude person here. And she looks almost apologetic for the driver's behavior. And I appreciate that sort of thing, honestly. So at that point, she starts going along. I move to the pumps that are still open behind me, to try and guide her over to there. As you can tell by my tone, that's not where the story ends. She tried to go onto the other side of the lane that she was currently in, which at the time, the gasoline pump had a problem with the card reader in the programming. We had it coned off, obviously locked up. It was, for all intents and purposes, obviously not usable. Should have been obviously noticeably not usable from the first run, but as we already have seen, this customer is not very attentive. By the time she realizes that that pump is not working, she stops the vehicle again, rolls down her window again to go, is there any pumps that are open? Is there any pumps that are working? Me being at the pump that I expected her to go to and was trying to guide her to, because I couldn't guide her to a correct pump in the first situation, could only go here, the pump that I'm standing at. I didn't say this to her, but I did say to her, well, the pump that she bypassed was, because she decided to bypass it. The customer still in the middle of the fill that entire time. So eventually the driver gets over to the pump, and I decide it's best to separate myself from this situation, so I let one of my other guys deal with that. And that's where that story went. That's where that story ended. And led to quite the funny story for about 2 weeks. 2 weeks after that particular situation, the pump that was the problem there, the one with the programming error, gets fixed. But we ran into a different problem that is a common problem regardless of new pumps or not. The customer in question, he came in on the wrong side. The tank was on the other side of the vehicle from where the pump was. This is a normal occurrence in this state, and probably many others as well, because some people don't know their vehicles very well. Some people expect that the machines will compensate for that mistake. We're not one of those. Our machines are not equipped for that. Our machines are actually not supposed to do that at all because of different design features. And legally, we're required to stand there and make sure that nothing goes wrong if that happens. The particular time of day that this occurred, we're not in a position to do that. We're usually never in a position to do that, but this time particularly was not a position to do that. We also have a strict rule from the company that we're not supposed to do that at any point because of the insurance not covering that sort of behavior because it's considered improper use of the pumps. Fair enough. There's some vehicle designs that are a little easier to do that with anyway, like the Volkswagen Bug, where the back end for the newer models is sloped so that way it's easier to reach it around the vehicle without damaging anything in the first place. And that's generally easier, especially if they're pulling up closer to the pump anyway. This wasn't one of those. This wasn't one of those machines at all. This was actually a smaller SUV, and if I recall correctly, it was, I think, a Mercedes-Benz. One of those smaller SUV types. Low to the ground, kind of built sort of things. So, that's already a design that we can't reach it around. On top of the fact that they had a bike rack attached to the back with a bike on it, that's especially not a thing we can work around. So, it was already a bold no from the beginning. And some customers are understanding of that, so they usually move around, not this guy. This guy apparently assumed that we're allowed to do this. And I had to inform him, no, we're absolutely not allowed to do that. It's not a thing we can do. We're not allowed to do that anyway. His expression went to wide-eyed bewilderment to then replying, oh, you can't do that. You're not allowed to do that. I see. I wasn't sure what to think of at the time, but my first response is, you're going to be a problem, aren't you? So, at that point, I figure, you know what? I'm just going to do the same as last time. I'll let someone else take it over from there. Don't need the hassle. Didn't get that far at all. They went from the pump that was fixed at that point to then go into the same lane and then back into the diesel pump that was the problem from the first story. And I had to go over to them before they finished backing up and let them know, actually, this is actually a diesel only now. We can't do that from here. He said, oh, okay, fine. And then proceeded to drive into the parking lot, head out onto the main road, and left. Didn't even bother getting gas from us, because he couldn't be bothered to get it right. At that point, I just couldn't do much else. Bye, Felicia. Didn't have much else to do, so I just went on with the rest of the day. Funny story number 2 for the next few weeks of these new pumps. It is only 2 stories that I've had to deal with these new pumps, but the fact that within not even the first real month of these pumps being put in, it's leading me to believe there's going to be a lot of problems of this sort. And all I can do is just laugh at them. Because it's silly. Why be mad over something like that? Why be mad because of your mistake that I'm being as polite as possible and letting you know we can't do this anymore? I'm being as polite as possible, as understanding as possible, because I understand that a lot of people were, set to believe one thing that is now no longer true. So I try to be as gentle with letting them know as possible. Because I'm currently in a relearning situation myself. I'm relearning, my muscle memory with the old pumps is no longer applicable. That's pretty much what these people are doing. So I understand, and I'm trying to, let them know. Don't be mad over something like that. Especially if you're already in the wrong. It just, it's a whole thing. But anyway, regardless. Going off of that, work's been work. We had a corporate visit, so that's always nice. Essentially had to take overtime to finish cleaning up the place a little bit. And then schmooze with corporate for maybe like a half hour. I think about a half hour. Wasn't too bad. Helped out here and there. Station was pretty much scheduled as normal. I just came in to help out, so could have been a lot worse. That said, there was one thing that we got pinged on that I was a little annoyed by, because the rest of my crew decided to play a little joke, and that led to me not being able to find a tool that I needed to do a thing, and that it was kind of bad, because the specific thing that needed to be done was one of the big things that he would be looking into, he being, the big head honcho of the whole corporate visit group. And that didn't happen. I had to explain to him the tool that I have for that situation, because, well, it's a very small area that needs to be cleaned up, and my fat ass arms aren't going to be able to do it. Fat, short arms, I'm already screwed. Thanks, genetics. Thank mom and pop for that. That I couldn't do. No one on my crew would have been able to do. So we need that tool to specifically do it, and we didn't have it. I explained to him that something happened. It got hidden. I'm trying to figure out from the guys who did it what happened, and it was, it was a bad look. But it was easily rectified, because it was not terrible situation. It was just a bit of rainwater collecting in a place that, is supposed to be kept clean and dry as much as possible. So it was just a simple, just deal with it as soon as you can. And, I'm hoping that the explanation was enough. I did tell the guys that they screwed me on this, so I hope they're aware of that. Yeah, if you're watching this, I know one of them at least watches YouTube. You're aware you screwed me, bud. But anyway, probably doesn't watch my videos. Why would he watch my videos? I'm a putz. But anyway, what else? Oh yeah, just, living, trying to save that money for the new computer. Still working on that. Being financially responsible with the bonds that I currently have, because that's in the family genes on the mother's side. Especially considering he was the one who bought those bonds. It's probably better in his memory to let them fully mature before I cash them out. But yeah, it's just saving up the money for that new computer. Still going for the desktop design, just so I can upgrade it easier later. And that said, it's not difficult per se, but it is harder given the fact that I'm now on my own. So I still have the Patreon. I will be adding a PayPal link in the description as well. I do not want you guys donating out of your own pocket when you are also struggling. So do not feel that you have to. But if you feel like you can help, I will leave it there. Again, I say, do not do it if it will put your own financial stability at risk. I will come after you. I will hit you with a wooden spoon that I currently don't have, but I will put money up to get a wooden spoon and treat you like my mother did me if y'all do that. So don't do that. Don't do that. Nuh-uh. Anyway, that is a thing that will be available. Patreon will still be up, if you feel you want to. It's killing me inside to not be able to make content for you guys. Really, it is. I'm just hoping eventually I can get to it, because I really miss doing that for you guys. I want to actually get into streaming like I was planning. I want to get, videos out. I might not do the heavy amount of videos I was doing before. 2 videos was a little difficult to keep up with, I'm going to admit. But if I do stream, it'll be a guaranteed at least 1 video, and then a stream, maybe. Maybe like a couple streams every week, maybe on my days off, and at least 1 video a day for, the whole week. And yeah, I can at least do that, I think. The editing was really getting difficult to keep up with. That was the majority of the problem. Then again, with a desktop, maybe it'll be less intensive. Who can say? But getting with the editing and doing streams on top of it, I want to, if I do eventually make this into a career, which I'm not expecting, honestly, but if I do make this into a career, I want to be able to keep a separate but equal sort of thing going on with YouTube and or Twitch or Mixer, if fucking for some reason Twitch dies by the time I'm able to get a new computer, which I doubt. There's a significant threat in Mixer, but it's not enough to really topple Twitch, I don't think. But if I do streams on top of YouTube videos, I want to make them separate but equal. I might make a second channel just for stream, VODs, just so it's always there and always, available. I doubt there will be problems where I can't keep those VODs up, but we'll see how it goes. Just because I'm kind of interested in that aspect, allowing people to see something that they weren't there to see live, and have it there for a while, just, to be available, and then have a separate, entirely different sort of effort for YouTube, the 30-minute episodes that I've been doing, and then have streams on the side as well. That's the sort of thing I want to get into. But I have to be making it a career first before I can put all of that effort in there. But yeah, it's a thing that I eventually want to do. But that's a long way from now. It might not even be a thing that we end up doing. But it's an idea. It's an idea that I, have there in the old noggin. But anyway, I've been going on for far too long. This is probably a whole fucking episode's worth of a vlog update already. Fucking Jesus. So anyway, I'm just going to stop for right now. I've been blathering on for too long. So thank you all so much for watching. Click the like button if you like this particular video, and click subscribe if you like these videos. Blah, 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 blah. I'm doing an outro that no longer works, and I pretty much fucked up half of it anyway, so fuck it. This has been the one and only Stray Cat, playing games, vlogging, giving life updates, giving updates on the channel, on what I eventually will want to do. But for now, not in the cards yet. But I will be there soon. It's killing me inside that I can't be giving content to you guys. I can't be making videos for you guys. But I promise I will be back soon. Really. It's my one drive. It's just difficult, man. It's difficult. But I'm doing my damnedest. For you.